Okay, my name is Peter and I'm going to explain petty cash. And this is my student. His name is Mark. Mark, I'm going to explain to you what is petty cash.
Yeah.
Okay. Petty cash. Petty cash is when you pay for small amounts, that is called petty cash. So you have in a company two cashiers. One is the main cashier, okay, and the other is called the petty cashier. Okay, petty cashier. Your main cashier deals with all the big payments. Okay.
Through the main functions of the corporate operation. Yeah.
He deals with all the big payments. Okay. And your petty cashier, he deals with all the small payments. Okay. So you have two. One is the main cashier and the other is the petty cashier. The main cashier, his job is to maintain the cash book. Okay. And the petty cashier, his job is to maintain a petty cash book. Now we will go a little more in deep in this explanation. It may seem so simple as it is, but it's not so simple. Why we will ask the question, why should there be a petty cashier when there is a main cashier already? Petty cashier basically is a person who has repeated small expenses like supplies, stationery, and every time the main cashier cannot be bothered because he cannot deal with.
So he can't deal with the frequency.
Yeah, the frequency because he's too busy a person.
With the main,
Yeah, he's too busy a person, and the petty cashier, he has a lot of routine stuff to do, and he can't handle big amounts and small amounts. So the petty cashier, he is given a small fund. He knows his regular expense. He has to pay maybe the tip for tea or coffee or small supplies. And this guy cannot be bothered, the main cashier cannot be bothered by these small amounts because it will take up too much of his time. So if there are two departments, one is the cash department and the other is, say,
petty cash
purchasing department. Okay. So the petty cashier,
purchasing.
he basically, it could be purchasing or it could be any other department. He has a lot of small bills, like say $5, $3, $10. So he gathers all that, and the amount that is given by this guy, the main cashier, to him is called what is called an impressed amount.
Impressed.
Yeah, it's called an impressed amount. So this amount he gets from the main cashier, and he supplies bills for the total amount. Okay.
So it's something of a budget to give to the petty cashier.
He gives it, say, I'm the main cashier, you are the petty cashier. I give you every month 500, and against that you will give me all the bills. Say, if you give me bills about 300, then you will still have on hand 200 with you.
So you give him all the receipts.
Yes. So when I get the receipts, the fund, the entry that I made
is the closing entry.
At the beginning, to give you the fund, all the expenses will be debited, okay, for which you paid, and the fund amount will be closed by the total amount that you have spent. Okay, say for example, if the main cashier gives the petty cashier, say 500.
Debits 500,
Okay, the petty cashier's fund, this is the fund. Okay? Fund is 500. Okay, then he pays postage, say 200.
In total 200.
Say 20.
And then office supplies, maybe?
Office supplies, and
stationery.
Say he pays, say 100. And stationery he buys, say 200. And 320.
320 out of 5.
180. Okay, say just 80. Okay. So how much he's got? He's paid 80 for say fare, taxi fare. Okay. So 2 and 1 3 and 400. 400 he spent So what he does, he supplies bills for 400 and his balance is 100. So he has on hand 100.
Okay. So
okay. So these bills, these are the bills. He gives these bills back to the main cashier.
Okay.
And the main cashier against the bills he reimburses him 400. So at the end of the next period he gets 500.
He gets the same amount he started.
Yeah. So this is, he gets 500 and so on and so forth. In every period he will get the same amount that he spent.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's to handle petty cash.
Sure.
So basically what is petty cash? Petty cash is basically a small fund. It is called an impressed fund. Impressed. It's an impressed fund which is given by the main cashier to the petty cashier to handle his day-to-day small expenses, because the main cashier is too busy. He can't be bothered by all these small things, because if he's going to be bothered by these things, every time he pays he has to make an entry in the books.
Time consuming.
It's time consuming and he doesn't have so much time, so he just devotes himself to the big payments. Okay, big payments means like purchasing contracts which have a lot of money.
Is he
right?
is the main cashier responsibility also involved in credit analysis for the accounts receivable role?
Well,
So
depends on how many people are working in the receivables role.
Yeah.
Say for example, if there are only 2 people and there's no accounts receivable, because it will depend on the size of the company. Right? If the size of the company is very huge, okay, and there are a lot of debtors, right? Then we'll need a separate person to exclusively deal with debtors.
Yeah.
So he will be called a receivables clerk or receivables officer or whatever name it's get as it is. Okay.
The receivables function.
Yeah. So
okay.
This is the main difference between petty cash and
the cashier, main cashier.
Okay. And as I explained to you previously, the other topic. So is this clear?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So petty cashier basically what he does, I'll just recap what I'm explaining.
Yeah.
The petty cashier could be in the same department or in another department. The petty cashier has regular expenses of a small nature.
Yeah.
He has regular expenses of a small nature and he doesn't want to be bothered, because every time he goes to the main cashier, the cashier's time is involved, main cashier. So he'll become too busy and his time will be wasted, and as well as the petty cashier. So he needs some money. So this guy, the main cashier, tells the petty cashier, I will give you this money, you spend it and give me the bills against it, and then we will record it into expense and we'll reimburse you. That's called an impressed account.
Okay. The account entry would be debit the petty cash expense.
Well, the account entry would be petty cash fund debit and cash credit. This to establish the petty cash fund. The petty cash fund. Okay, this entry is made by the main cashier. And the second entry will be
when we give back the receipts, etc. and we paid. It's going to be debit expense,
will expenses, the relevant expenses, as here I said postage office and so
in total.
Yeah, and he'll pay it for cash.
Yeah.
Okay, so the expenses goes in the expense account and the cash is taken from the cash book main cashier. He is reimbursed for the amount he spent, and the previous balance which he had on hand, as in this case he spent 400. He is reimbursed for this, and the previous balance of 100 on hand. He has total of 500.
Sorry.
Okay, is that clear?
It's clear. And then when the main cashier comes back to
Yeah.
increase
Yeah.
the money that had been spent,
Yes.
in terms of then of coming in for the rollover account,
Yeah.
we say then debit cash, credit the petty fund
Yeah,
account.
petty cash fund debit, cash credit, and expenses. The individual expenses, so we'll say postage, office supplies,
Yeah.
stationery, and so on and so on. We'll
Yeah.
debit the expense and credit cash.
Yeah.
This is the job of the, at the time of replenishing the fund.
Yeah. Which may be done every week, every month, every second day, third day,
It
whatever.
depends on when the petty cashier pays the main cashier.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yes.
So with that I end my recording. Okay. For any questions do you have in this petty cash?
The petty cash.
Before I end my recording.
It's pretty clear and straightforward. From
Yes.
from the main cashier, we have a fund allocated over. We have a monetary amount allocated over into the petty cash, which is into the impressed account.
Yes.
From the impressed account, we're then able to say what's allocated to these small, high frequency transactions.
Exactly.
And then which are then provided for in documented evidence in the receipts, totaled, and then given back to the main cashier, and then a rollover account is then.
Yes, then the account is rolled over here. Okay, with that I've ended my explanation of cash and petty cash.
Thank you.
And we shall close the recording now. Thank you very much.